This is North. This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
He was a Giant, and he was a Cowboy. Now these two former rivals have joined forces to bring you the most insightful, perceptive, and controversial sports talk podcast in America. Former Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jim Jeffcoat locks horns with former New York Giants wide receiver Byron Williams. And now, here's Byron Williams and Jim Jeffcoat.
Good evening, Byron.
Hey, good evening. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good. Hey, got to break some really breaking news. We usually talk about football first, and we're going to obviously talk about that. But it's a big trade in the NBA.
I heard about it.
Game time going to Milwaukee to play with Giannis. That's huge.
That's huge. They are. I saw where they are the highest percentage of winning the NBA championship this year.
Yeah, and they traded, which is interesting. Drew Holiday was in there, and yesterday Drew Holiday said that he wants to retire as a Milwaukee Buck.
Right.
But they said that his deal is that he had to be a part of the trade, but he'll possibly be able to pick his next team. Dallas is very interested in it, but thought that was interesting because you very rarely see huge trades like that. You see guys going in free agency, but as far as trades, you don't see that very often.
Well, they've been talking about Leonard being traded ever since last year after
Lillard, because he wanted to be traded to Miami.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Miami. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Butler was complaining that they were tampering with Damian Lillard. That'll be a good combination.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happened this year in the NBA. And I like Damian Leonard. Well, he can play. He can play.
Yeah, he's very explosive.
Yeah.
But back to the things. I'm trying to not talk about it, but the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't them Cowboys. They ain't them boys this week. They got to get this stuff. They went to Arizona. And here's the interesting thing. Out of the last 9 games, they've only beat Arizona once.
Some teams match up better, but they just go to show you got to be focused week in and week out in the NFL.
Yeah, and Prescott gets everybody's always talking that, but that didn't give up 227 yards rushing if I could see it. I've been in teams that lost to teams like Barry Sanders or somebody like that, or say Walter Payton, but 227, and James Conner's a good player. He recovered from cancer and everything.
Right. Yeah. He's tough. He's a heck of a running back.
But Josh Dobbs, and you said that earlier in the week about Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs is one of the smartest guys I've been around ever. I played golf with him last year. Yeah. And let me share this. I did text you during the game, the Cowboys game. And when I text you in the fourth quarter, I didn't understand why Dallas didn't hurry up, trying to make it, trying to hurry up and get in the offense and get the rhythm going and, get in that recovery mode. Seemed like to me, they just letting the clock run.
Yeah, that was a big concern. And I told you, I didn't understand it. But what bothered me was giving up the yards because did you realize Dallas struggles when teams get to the second level? So that's telling me something about their secondary and their linebackers. It is really their linebackers. They struggle there. And you're right. In the penalties, they had
a lot of penalties.
So,
they was a double number for his penalties.
I could see if it was San Francisco who New York lost to the Giants. But this is Arizona, and they've been in games. They almost beat Washington. They almost beat the Giants, but almost only counts in the horseshoes.
Yeah, but I just go to show you got to give credit to the Arizona Cardinals. You got to give credit for the preparation with the coaches. and they were just ready to play. Dallas just thought they were going to walk in there and just get handed a win.
Well, I don't know if they thought they could walk in there but here's what bothers me about the Cowboys is you got a guy that you just paid. I had who complained about not getting enough money in Zach Martin. He's injured. The center, Tyler, Bedizik or something like that, he's injured. And then Tyson Smith, he's always injured. So you got 3 of your linemen and you're paying 2 of them
big money,
a lot of money to play.
Big money.
And they're not playing. And you get these. I can't blame the kids that came in. I'm blaming the guys that are supposed to be leaders on this team. I think that played, if you look at his stats and you look at how he threw the ball around into that last play, Michael Gallup had his best game of the year. CeeDee Lamb was okay, but he's complaining about a pass interference, and he had an opportunity to still make a play. He needs to concentrate on that.
Yeah.
And Brendan Cook is supposed to be your speed guy, but he ain't outrunning anybody. So you got a little bit.
I think he's still injured. I think he got some type of leg injury or something. Something that's slowing him down.
But nobody's gonna probably go undefeated. The only team that might go undefeated is the Dolphins because they're scoring enough 70 points. Have you ever been in a game where you've seen 70 points?
I haven't never been in a game where I see 70 points. Never seen it before in my life.
Yeah.
And
when I was in high school, we beat a team like 57-3, but I had never seen 70 points.
Yeah, I never seen that. So I just think too, the third week is a week to where teams should be getting a little bit more rhythm, a little bit more motion to the ocean and so forth. But the third week is an indication that they could tell who's gonna probably be in the playoff, who probably won't be in the playoff for its tendencies. But it's gonna be a long season. That just goes to show you.
Yeah.
Some teams start off slow and some teams finish strong. So
yeah, but you got to also look at is how the team reacts to, because you're gonna have some adversity, and how healthy they are. Because if you have a lot of injuries, especially with a 17-game season, it's going to be difficult to make up some of the games that you should have won, and you got to win some of those. You can't lose games you should have won.
Well, you can't lose. Well, that just goes to show you can't take no team for granted in the NFL.
Yeah,
and there's a couple of teams won this weekend that we thought that probably wasn't gonna win, but I tell you what, Miami is no joke.
That is scary. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing, that they're like in the lower part of the league on defense and third down efficiency. Yeah. And they still to do that to a team. That's crazy.
That was crazy.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that Russell Wilson and Sean Payton are going to make it?
No. The way it look, I think the game they either passed them by, one of them by. I think they got to make changes. And I just think there's going to be too much pressure on them to try to turn that boat around. It looked real slim and bad right now.
Yeah, it does. But Russell Wilson actually hasn't been playing bad. What's happening is the defense. They brought in Joseph back. He was a head coach there. They brought him back to coach the defense. And he hasn't done well with that defense. They've struggled.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I was thought to get your insight on it.
Well, I was looking at Miami offense. I couldn't even think about what Denver was offering for the game because they got whooped.
Yeah.
I mean beat.
Yeah. Those are the kind of games shoot. Are they gonna let us on the plane, giving us 70 points?
No, those are. I need to ask somebody that got beat that played in a game like that before how it feels to fly home.
I played in some bad games where, like, we played the Chicago Bears that year. They won the Super Bowl and they beat us pretty bad. I don't remember the exact score, but I know it was pretty bad. But it wasn't 70 points.
Yeah.
Even when we were 1-15, we didn't get beat. That was the worst, was the Bears.
Yeah.
But geez, I don't know. I mean, what does that do to your confidence?
Well, one of the things, it really, that's the kind of game when you get back flying back on the plane, you look at each other and say, should we get paid this week?
You're right. You're exactly right.
Hey man, I'll tell you, that's kind of game like shit. Nobody should get paid this week.
They tell them to find their own way home. Hey man,
hey,
y'all don't even deserve to go on the plane.
Hey, y'all tell y'all what, y'all get your bag, go to the airport. We'll see you Tuesday in the locker room. Find your way home.
You're right. And there was some interesting games. Tennessee at Cleveland. Cleveland beat them 27-3.
Yeah, Cleveland 27-3.
I think Tennessee's in trouble.
I think so too.
I think so.
It's kind of hard to put your feet on it, but I thought my name Bevel, Mike could turn it around because he's a defensive specialist.
Yeah.
But man,
Brable, yeah.
Yeah, Brable. Cleveland, man, they put it on them.
And they're helter-skelter. You don't know what Cleveland team you're going to get. Because they
didn't. It's about Deshaun Watson being able to come back and play what up to his potential.
Yeah. And then you had Detroit beating Atlanta.
That was a good game, yeah.
26. So, yeah, I mean, there's another game that you don't know. I think Detroit is going to be a team that's got a possibility. It's going to be a great game between them and Green Bay tomorrow night. New Orleans at Green Bay. New Orleans at Green Bay. And Green Bay was winning 17-0.
Yeah, not 17-0, exactly.
And then Carr gets hurt and they lose 18-17. Here's the thing about it is Jordan Love is getting better. And it might, like you said this about system. And the system is perfect for him and what he does within that system. He let him obviously passing, but he also led him rushing. And Chris Olave was from New Orleans, led everybody in receiving. So,
well, that's one of the things I like about the Packers. They still got the same coach, and they got a system in place that helped you to be successful. And then ain't nobody gonna really just outplay Green Bay because of the way their system is in place. I mean, their running backs is key. They ain't got no real big name wide receivers.
That's true.
Jordan Love is making some good decisions on the field. I think they set him up. So he doesn't see Aaron Rodgers for 3 years.
Set him up for success.
Yeah.
But the one thing they did is when they had a transition to a new quarterback, they didn't panic. They just taught him how to play it.
And the media just talk, and they just said, okay, we'll see. But he came in, and what I like about it, they gave him some good reps during the preseason. So he was able to get his confidence up, his timing up, and control of the offense. So I think they prepared him for what we see now. Yeah.
First of all, good evening, Rick, and Stephen A. And then Jason. Me and Jason, you were supposed to be there, played golf Saturday. Jason's a married man now, so he.
Hey, congratulations, Jason! I had to be in Texarkana this weekend. I had to be down there, and my wife's situation was she'd been down there 2 weeks, so I had to go down and rush down there. And I apologize, but I heard it was great. You guys had a great time. Congratulations!
Yeah. Now, Jason, you're supposed to be in Greece.
What are you doing? Is he here?
He's going on a honeymoon.
Wood.
Yeah, he's got a wonderful wife. Lindsay's a wonderful person, and it is. I mean,
I punted his coverage, so that's good.
Oh, no way. No question about it. Shit. He definitely outpunted his coverage.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I thought he'd be he's supposed to be in the Greek islands and stuff. But he couldn't miss the J&B Talking Showp.
Well, he got to learn something about football. This is where you learn football right here.
Yeah. Some of the other games on there, Los Angeles. Oh, here it goes.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Didn't they play?
Los Angeles played Minnesota. They lost in the Chargers lost to Minnesota. They beat them 28 to
28-24. They beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Vikings are 0-3.
Yeah. You both know. Oh, they're in the air. Jason's listening to us on the way. Tell Lindsay I said hello. But
that's cool, Jason. I'm glad you listening to us in the air, man. That's awesome. And that means you take a lot of Jim Jeffcoat, even though he can't play golf with crap.
Ooh, I can't believe you said that with a straight face.
Hey, how did he play, Jason? How was his golf game when y'all played Saturday morning?
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
How was his golf game? He said, we're in there.
But Chargers in Minnesota. Minnesota's in trouble.
You know, you and I both said that we thought Minnesota was going to win this game at home.
Yes.
And we both, no, the Chargers, man, they got some talent, though. You know, we said that at the beginning of the season.
I think what's happened with Minnesota is, do you realize that their Kirk Cousins is having a career year, and so is Justin Jefferson, but they struggle. Where they struggle at is defense.
I think we were talking about Kirk Cousins going to the Jets last week. Me and
yes,
Jack and
I don't know if they need to do something to the Jets, and we'll talk about it. And then, matter of fact, the Jets lost to New England 15-10.
Right.
And Zeke Elliott had 80 yards. Mac Jones had 200, and he's hitting people in their privates and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they got video of it.
But you know what? I think Ezekiel Elliott going to have his best game of the year this weekend.
You think so?
I know so.
If I was Micah Parsons, I keep my head on the swivel because Zeke going to get him.
Zeke don't play.
Yeah, Zeke going to prove that he should have been there.
Well, I think if he had 20 plus more carries, he'll have 150 yards.
Yeah. Then we had Buffalo at Washington. Ooh.
Buffalo beat them 37-3, wasn't it?
Yeah, 37-3, and it wasn't even close. Everybody was talking about Washington. Do you realize Sam Howell is on course to be the most sacked quarterback ever in the NFL? I think Buffalo have 9 sacks against them.
I didn't know that. They had 9 sacks this weekend?
Yes.
That's almost a game record.
I know.
Wow.
Well, the record is the Bears. I think they had something like 13 or 14.
What, the 85 Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, 85 Bears. They were the number 1 defense in the history of the NFL.
And that's the thing is when we talk about, people always talk about this defense is good, but there's only a few elite defenses in the NFL.
Absolutely.
There's only a few.
And we thought last week, we thought Dallas was one of them until Trayvon.
Yeah, they got exposed. They got exposed. And it's things that, and they talked about having Bland. Actually, Deron Bland played pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault they lost. I was kind of disappointed in Gilmore. He didn't play very well. But he's a little long in the tooth, so. And, that's why you can't get too high on your high horses. It's a week-to-week deal. Yeah, Now, here was a shocker. Houston at Jacksonville. I didn't say Jacksonville at Houston. I said Houston at Jackson.
37-17. 37-17. What happened that game?
C.J. Stroud.
That's what I'm saying. That's the guy that I thought was going to be really the most focused of all the rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, and then Tank Dell. And Tank Dell is, correct me if I'm wrong, is a Texan.
Yeah.
And he caught 145 yards.
Yeah, they had a good game.
Yeah, so C.J. Stroud is by far the best rookie quarterback at this
so
point.
far, up into the first 3 games. Now, the Jaguars, man, people had high expectations of them. They was in the top 10.
You're right.
In the for strength of the schedule and the possibility of playoffs.
Yeah, you're right, though. They haven't, it's a great win for Houston, but Jacksonville is like the Dallas. They shouldn't be losing.
Can you ever imagine most people that was betting games? I know they picked Jacksonville over the Houston Texans.
Oh, no question. But this next game is even more shocking. Well, now, Anthony Richardson was out last week.
Yeah, yep.
With a concussion, I think it was.
Yeah, he got a concussion.
In Indianapolis at Baltimore, and they beat them. I watched the game.
It was an overtime game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
But that kicker, the kicker had to be the MVP.
Yes,
for the Colts.
For the Colts. But Minshew played well too. And Zach Moss against the Baltimore defense at 122 yards. And Michael Pittman, the receiver, had 77 yards. So Indianapolis played pretty good.
Yeah.
I have to give them credit on that. And then we talked about this, Chicago at Kansas City, what's his name? Travis Kelce became a Swiftie. He walked out with Taylor Swift. He beat him. They won 41-10. And
well, you know what? The good thing about him walking out, they wasn't holding hands.
No, I noticed that. but everything went up in his.
He got so many followers. They said.
Yeah, his jersey and everything. They sold more and everything.
But maybe he wanted to go to the bank this week early and say, "Hey, let me cash in a little bit."
Yeah, he rented out a whole restaurant so she wouldn't be bothered.
Yeah, and the good thing about it, she was up there with his mother, so that was
yeah. She trying to get in with the family.
Yeah.
But Chicago is really that's a fire right now.
Oh yeah, it is. That's the type of situation that all week everybody's walking on pins and needles.
Yeah, because you don't know what obviously the defensive coordinator resigned. Justin Fields is, instead of getting better, he's going the other way. He's getting worse.
Well, one of the things that I want to say is whenever a player is in a big marketplace like New York, Chicago, LA, when the media is right there and you say something wrong by slip of the tongue, and when you say that the coach can't coach, when you say something about a player, that's what they waiting on.
Yeah, you're right. And then Pittsburgh at Las Vegas, and Pittsburgh winning. And
Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, and I said on Sunday that I thought this might be the year that Tomlin doesn't go 500 or over. I was wrong on that one.
Right now, they 2-1.
Then they knocked Garoppolo out.
Oh yeah,
Garoppolo 324 yards, but he still didn't. He didn't finish the game.
Yeah, he kind of was throwing some crazy balls at the end because he was like he was rushing the pockets.
Yeah,
because he know J.J. Watt was coming.
Yeah, but a question for you: Devontae Adams is obviously disappointed, and he wants to get out of there. Yeah, you're right about that, Rick, on Minnesota and Chargers. and he's still that coach is
Coach Staley.
Yeah, Staley, Brandon Staley. You're right about that. But back to Pittsburgh, Devontae Adams wants to get out of Las Vegas.
Why?
I would take Devontae Adams. I don't care how old he is. He makes plays.
He good. He's still in the top 3 receivers right now, I think.
Exactly. He had 172 yards.
But where would he go? I tell you where he need to go. Go to the Giants. That's a good place for him.
If he goes to the Giants are going to be scary.
That's what they need, and they can pay him. They ain't got no good receiver. They ain't got no top receiver, wide receiver.
Yeah, he would be the top receiver, and then you couldn't put so much emphasis on. It's like Devontae Adams and Justin Jefferson, obviously make a difference on any team, and there's rumors that both of them might get traded, and Kirk Cousins.
Well, yeah. Well, some teams have to trade some of their best players just to get the cap ready. Yeah, and
you're right. You're right about that. So and then Philadelphia. I knew Philadelphia. I didn't even have anything. I'm not a Philly fan, obviously, but right now their defense is playing like a top defense.
Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay 25-11 Monday night.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
The worst trade they talk about the Herschel Walker trade. Can you imagine Detroit trading Swift to Philadelphia?
Bad boy. Swift is bad.
Swift can play. He had 130 yards. And then A.J. Brown had 131 yards. And then Jalen Hurts, sick, had 277 yards. This will be interesting to see if they can sustain that. Well,
the key thing is staying healthy for those guys. But yeah, right now the Philadelphia Eagles, man, they and they play what two of the 3 games on the road.
Yep. And then the Los Angeles Rams lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah, 16-19.
Yeah, and Cincinnati lost. I mean, they saved their season.
Well, the good thing about the Rams is seem like they back kind of competitive and they in the thick of things. They not like last year. It seemed like they lost all their games. Now you got to really play to beat the Rams.
That's true. Now let's talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. We got first game is Detroit against Green Bay at Green Bay.
Is that tomorrow, Thursday night game?
That's tomorrow, Thursday night game.
I like Green Bay at home.
Green Bay is tough to beat at home. And here's the thing: Green Bay doesn't beat itself. That's one thing you notice about them. They're gonna make you beat them. Detroit is physical and they're really good, but that's a hard one. I want to say Detroit, but it's at Green Bay.
It gonna be a good game. But shoot, man, Detroit, man, they play good football though. Detroit.
I'm gonna have to go with Detroit. I like Green Bay, and it wouldn't shock me if they won, but I think Detroit is a little farther. Green Bay should have lost last week
against the Saints because it was 17-0.
Yeah,
it was the Saints had them 17-0.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Detroit.
Dan.
I haven't been very good on picking games this year.
I think I got you beat on picking games.
I think you do. Everybody's got.
So you go with Detroit.
I saw some little kid at the grocery store and said, "You can't pick games."
Okay, so you go with Detroit.
Uh-huh.
I'm picking the Steelers. I'm picking the Packers.
I'm going with Detroit.
Okay.
Atlanta at Jacksonville.
Dang.
Yeah. It's in the morning. It's 9:30 in the morning, and it's over at Wembley.
Oh, yeah, they're across the pond?
Yeah, they're across the pond.
Oh yeah, Sunday morning, October 1st. Man, I just love Atlanta the way they look.
I do too, but Jacksonville has played over there. What, the last 3 years or?
Yeah, they always they've been over there for some reason. So who you taking?
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville on this one.
I'm going with Atlanta.
Okay, that's a good one. Miami at Buffalo.
Miami.
At Buffalo.
Oh, you know you go to Buffalo. You know you go. Who you go with, Jeff?
Why you gonna put me in that spot?
Anytime somebody scores 70 points, I think they ain't going to practice this week. They so good. I'm going with Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo.
I'm going with Buffalo.
I'm going with Buffalo because it's just hard to beat them Bills at home.
Yeah, it is. I've been there. That's a hard
I know
place.
you know firsthand.
Yeah.
I think Miami will lose this week.
Hey, just like Rick said, this is the toilet bowl. Denver at Chicago.
Denver
at Chicago.
Man, can you believe both of them got their butt whooped last week? One 41-10, the other was 70-30.
Yeah.
Dang.
See, the producer Linda was 4-0 last week. Before I make my choices on Sunday, I'm going to talk to her and make sure we're on the same page.
Linda was 4-0 last week.
Yeah, 4-0.
She must have picked the Cardinals.
Yeah, she probably did. Denver at Chicago. I'm going to pick Denver.
I'm going. Chicago got too many problems. I'm going with Denver.
Yeah, I'm going with Denver. I'm scared now because every time I pick a team, oh man, Baltimore at Cleveland. This will be a good game.
I'm going with Cleveland. I don't care. Cleveland at home.
Yeah, but Cleveland does play pretty well at home. But for some reason, I got to go with Baltimore.
All right, you go Baltimore. I'm going with Cleveland.
Cincinnati at Tennessee.
Tennessee looks sad.
Yeah, they do.
And Jamar Chase, man, he looked good last week. And I think Burrow is ready to go. He's warming up. I think he'd be more healthier this week.
You think so?
I'm going with Tennessee.
You going with Tennessee?
No, I'm going with Cincinnati. I'm going with Cincinnati.
I'm going with Cincinnati. I was gonna say, wow.
Well, kind of want to do a little something with Andre Hopkins, but I don't know if he 100%. Shoot.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah,
he ain't.
Okay, here's one for you: the Los Angeles Rams at Indianapolis.
I just like I like the way the Rams are playing this year. I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I kind of like what they're doing, but it depends on who starts. If Richardson starts, I think the Rams are going to win it.
But I tell you now, the coach got the best kicker in the league.
Yeah,
he is on fire. He kicking field goals like it's like they just routine.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rams too.
Tampa Bay at New Orleans. If Carr was playing, I'd go with New Orleans. But since Winston is playing, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay.
You going Tampa? I'm going with the Saints. I picked the Saints to do. They got
now, Carr won't play. Carr's got a shoulder injury.
I don't care. I'm going with the Saints at home.
Okay. Who that nation? Who that?
Well, the Saints should have beat Green Bay last week.
They should have.
17-0.
Carr was when Carr got injured, it went downhill quick.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you got to remember. But you have your choice. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay. Washington at Philadelphia.
Oh, Washington! I ain't going no Commandos. I hate the name.
It's at Philly. Philly got a pretty easy schedule at the beginning of the year, don't they?
They sure do. They
played with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
That had a winning record, correct?
Yeah.
Minnesota doesn't.
Yeah.
Who did they play in the first game?
They played the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and New England. Well, New England has a winner, or do they?
Well,
I'll have to look at the standings.
it was all 0-0. New England 1-2 right now. Ain't they only won one game.
1-2.
Yeah.
So yes, they only played one team, and that's funny about the NFL. But you could say the Cowboys. Who did they play with a winning record? Nobody yet. So they're 2-1. So it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia.
Yeah, I know you are. I already put it down.
And then we had Minnesota.
The Steelers at the Texans, ain't they?
No, the Steelers. Pittsburgh is.
Yeah, at Houston.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm going with Pittsburgh. We didn't go in Minnesota at Carolina.
Okay, Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going with them, but I'm going with Pittsburgh against Houston.
Okay, you go with Pittsburgh. I'm going with Pittsburgh too. Oh, yeah, I can't go. I can't.
Boy, did you hear what happened with Pittsburgh's airplane? They had to stop
What?
in Kansas City because of something airplane problems, and they didn't get home till really late. And now they got to go to Houston.
Dang.
So there. New England at Dallas. Oh, excuse me. Before that, Las Vegas at the
Raiders.
Chargers.
The Raiders at the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chargers. Well, they Williams is hurt. Their receiver is hurt.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna go with them. I'm still gonna go with the Chargers over.
I just don't know what's going on with the Raiders. They bit. I was just thinking about
I think they made a mistake in the coach. He's a good coordinator, but he's a terrible head coach.
Okay. Yeah.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, Josh.
So I think he's a terrible head coach. We got.
You said Minnesota playing somebody though, didn't you?
Minnesota playing Carolina.
Okay, Carolina.
At Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going. Minnesota going to win their first game this week.
Yep, I think they will. I think they're. Josh Young is, and I got people. I think Josh Young is going to end up being a lot like Drew Brees. Not a big guy, but he's got a little bit of accuracy. It's just going to take him a little time. And Bryce Young. Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll be like him, but it's not going to happen this week. I think Minnesota will win their first game.
Yeah, I think so too.
New England at Dallas. Listen to this stat. This is a little bit makes me a little nervous. Bryce Young is not a bust. He's not a bust. But New England at Dallas. Dallas has not beaten New England at home since 1996. They beat them in Foxborough, but they haven't beat them at home.
Dallas playing at home though, right?
Yeah, they're playing at New England at home.
No, Dallas at home.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that New England has beaten Dallas, and they did have Tom Brady.
I think Dallas will win in the last quarter.
Yes.
I think Ezekiel Elliott would have 180 yards.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, here's the thing that is kind of interesting. Did you know that last week Dallas gave up 17 yards inside the tackles? They gave up all the other yards, 210 yards outside the tackles.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And people talk about Dak like somebody is right now, but you got to understand, San Francisco doesn't have a franchise quarterback. You can say Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not a franchise quarterback. Herbert is a franchise quarterback. Mahomes is a franchise quarterback. Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback.
Herbert?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert?
I did say Herbert. So you can say what you want, but do you need a franchise quarterback to be really good?
What about Tua?
Tua's becoming a franchise quarterback, but he's got great players around.
He got some.
And Waddle didn't even play last week. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But guess what? He playing this week.
Yeah.
Because I saw him today in practice. He was out there practicing today.
Yeah.
And he was waddling. He said, I want you to do the waddle tonight.
Wow. Brock Purdy doesn't throw interceptions because of their system. They're a running team. They are a true power running team. They're going to run you. And then they don't ever put him in situations because he has obviously Debo Sanders, Brandon Ayuk, and
Brandon Ayuk, is he playing? Is he back off the injury list?
Yeah, he'll be back. But Kittle, and the thing you got to understand about what they do is he gets released. I was looking at it. His release is one of the fastest in the NFL. He doesn't hold the ball. So that's why he doesn't throw interceptions, but he throws it to a spot.
Yeah.
And it's hard to guard those guys, and you still got to worry about McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But, he's not a franchise quarterback. And then Hurts has probably some problems with interceptions, but that defense is so dominating right now that it's difficult. They can make up for some of his mistakes. And then Swift running so well.
Swift look good.
Yeah.
He look good.
But who did you pick out of New England and Dallas?
I picked Dallas.
Yeah. I think
I just think Dallas had an off week, and I think this is they go get their focus back, and I just think it's gonna be hard for New England to beat them here at home.
Yeah. How about Arizona and San Francisco?
Oh, the 49ers.
Yeah, I would have to go with the 49ers.
I just don't see nobody beating the 49ers right now.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals have been playing good.
They have. But I think they're gonna come back to earth this week.
The 49ers are gonna beat them by 20 points.
Yeah, I think the 49ers will beat them pretty good. Woo!
Did we talk about the Chiefs and the Jets?
That's what we were about to talk about. That's the night game.
What's the night game?
At New York.
I sure want to take the Jets. I want to take the Jets, but I'm not going to take the Jets.
Oh, man, that's a tough game. And I'm like you. I don't want to take the Jets because I think Zach Wilson might be a bust.
Man, I really wanted the Jets to win this year. I really did.
Yeah, I did too.
Because they beat us in preseason. They beat the Giants in preseason. And I was just saying, well, maybe they can do something pretty good this year, but not so.
I think Zach Taylor.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson has really struggled. He's lost all confidence.
Everybody is talking about Zach Wilson. It's the quarterback. It's just he just is something that he's not doing, not able to do.
And I think he doesn't have a strong enough running game and a strong enough offensive line. And that's a big issue. The offensive line is not very good. And that's the thing that happens with the New York Giants is too.
And just think about this. When Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets, that put them over the top.
Yeah.
Put them over the top. But not so fast.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I'm going with Kansas City. I think Kansas City will win this game.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the prime Monday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks at New York Giants. I am going to go against the grain.
What you mean against the grain? It's a no-brainer, Jim. What you talking about?
It is a no-brainer. Seattle's going to win. No.
I'm going with the Giants, man. Are you crazy?
Here's the problem with the Giants.
Ain't no problem.
No, listen to me. First of all, Saquon is not going to probably play because of the ankle injury.
He might play.
I think the problem that is with the Giants is their defense is got some outstanding players, but my thing is they take too many. They put those young quarterbacks in no-win situations. And I mean, you're going to get some pretty good receivers. So I'm gonna go with Seattle on this.
Well, this is the deal. Seahawks got to fly all the way to the East.
Yeah, that's a long way.
And guess what? The Giants gonna blow their mind. We're gonna have a good game. This is our turning point for the season. If the Giants win this game against Seahawks, they will make the wild card.
Yeah, that is true. I would agree.
But I just think they got to play a perfect game. And some of the receivers got to step up. Daniel Jones got to have his best game. And you know what? Trayvon Thibodeau, they talking about sending him out of there. They ready to get him out of there because he ain't done nothing.
I know, but I understand, and I can't.
Well, you can't be a fifth pick in the first round.
Yeah.
And not have number 1 and 2 sacks in 2 years.
Yeah, you're right.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, they got to win this game. They got to win this game.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cowboys. They got San Francisco and Philly after this win. This is a must win. So yeah.
Well, this is going to be the nut and bolt, meat and potatoes of the season right here.
You're
We're
right.
gonna see who's gonna be able to eat, or we're gonna see who's going out to the pasture.
You're right. You're right. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Seattle to win it.
Okay, you got Seattle. I got the Giants.
I'm gonna have to pick them.
I think this is a game that they have an alumni being there this week.
Oh, okay. Okay. Couple things. This is what's interesting. Robert Salio said the players are okay with Aaron Rodgers calling them out for the Jets. He was saying that they got to grow up. Well, here's the thing to me isn't that the head coach's responsibility? A player shouldn't have to call them out. I'm just asking.
You're right.
And now when I played, we were accountable. We call each other out in private.
And I think that's the problem with today's players. They want to put stuff in the media. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, we had the locker room talk.
Yeah, we did it in the locker room. You didn't know what was going on, but everything is.
We had like
and
we had George Morton, Harry Carson.
Yeah.
Phil Simms. Those guys, we huddled up and we talked about things that we need to do inside these locker rooms.
Exactly, and it didn't get out of the locker room.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. But that's a concern of mine.
I saw that comment. They said that what Aaron Rodgers said, and I think that's when you're not going to be a part of the team for the rest of the season. Say something positive throughout every day.
That's not negative. He's right. They do have to grow up. I mean, you got a third-team running back arguing with the running back coach. What kind of junk is that? He should have been gone on Monday.
Yeah, that's true.
Mean, that's
where the hierarchy of the team and the structure of the team then lost its taste. I mean, you don't do that. That's something that it's out of respect. First of all, football is a game that you have to earn respect.
Yeah,
and for that to happen, things are out of order. So now you're pointing fingers at
what's happening is everybody's going like this instead of like this.
Yeah, looking at yourself first, and then
you gotta look at yourself because Dan Quinn said an interesting thing. He said, and it was the safety, Javon Curse, Deron Bland, and DeMarcus Lawrence played winning football. He said nobody else. But then I see in the paper, Micah Parsons is in an argument with Tyreek Hill. We are not playing Tyreek Hill this week over who should have the name Cheetah. I thought this was ridiculous. What you better be worried about is the New England Patriots and what Zeke Elliott is going to do to you.
And that's what they need to worry about because Zeke going to be up in their chest.
Yep.
He got something to prove.
Yep.
It's good when a player has something to prove to the team to just let him go.
That's right. When I played at Buffalo, we beat Dallas the year they won the Super Bowl in Buffalo. And I had the play at the end of the game to cause the interception to win the game.
Yeah.
You want to prove that they made a mistake?
I had my best game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's
I had
right.
169 yards. I mean, it's the next time they saw me, they said that damn Byron Williams, you know. But my point is, whenever the guy got a chip on his chest right now.
Yeah.
So they better be ready for Zeke.
He had 80 yards last week.
He warming up.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. So that's what they need to be worried about. I mean,
And you know, and plus, you know, Belichick, he's a strategist. You ain't gonna
what's
just
the first thing he's gonna do in the game? He's gonna tell them they got to take out CeeDee Lamb. He's gonna tell them they got to take out Tony Pollard. And now Gallup, Jalen, is it Tolbert?
Brandon Cook,
all these guys, and then Rico Dow, they're gonna have to play well.
Right.
Yeah. And he's gonna look in there and say, fellas, we can run on them. They gave up 227 yards last week.
Yeah.
We can run on them. And like I said, I'm not knocking James Conner, but he's gonna say, hey, we got backs good as James Conner.
And another thing too, New England defense always play ready.
Yep, they play.
The linebackers,
especially in the red zone.
Judon, he ain't no joke.
No, especially in the red zone. You got a good point there.
But you know, I was just looking at what the Cowboys, how they played in the fourth quarter. It was
mind blowing.
They blew my mind.
They're huddling up. They ain't even trying to hurry.
What a hurry up offense at?
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then Zeke is forcing the ball inside the red zone. And trying to throw it between three guys, three defenders.
You're right.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, you're right though. I can't argue with you.
And then another thing too, and this just me. You know, Pollard is great at catching the ball out the backfield. Throw the ball to him inside. Throw the ball to him.
Or that fullback. That fullback was wide open on that play.
Exactly. Right. So you have other options. And then another thing with Zeke, and this is what I was going to tell you. Zeke is not looking the guys off.
No.
Dak. I mean, Zach. Yeah, Dak is not looking the guys off. Yeah. He's not looking them off. So that was my viewpoint on that game.
Yeah. So a couple other things. Carr said if he can play, he's going to play, but it doesn't look like he's going to play.
No.
In New Orleans. Eckler practiced, but he said he's not 100%. Aaron Eckler.
But I think he said he won't. He probably going to be ready to play though.
Yeah. Bryce Young is on the track to start versus the Vikings. So both went with the Vikings. Rick. The Vikings got it this week.
Rick ain't saying too much this week because he's been talking.
He did.
But he was saying he thought the Vikings done won the game by now. They 0-3. Are they 0-3, Jim? Oh, the Vikings 0-3.
0-3.
That's what I'm saying. My boy Alfred Addison, he ain't calling me. He left the golf tournament Monday.
No, before it even started.
He probably been playing golf. He left the golf tournament crying. How do you cry when your team is 0-3? Damn. What's going on around here?
You gotta laugh, not to cry.
We're gonna be 2-2 after this week, so we'll be 2-2.
Yeah. Zeke expects some emotion, obviously, with the Cowboys, which they're gonna do something for him there at the stadium. I don't know what to do.
He done a good job for them, and he been their bread and butter for last 6 years or so.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Jadeveon Clowney, he plays for the Ravens. He's the guy that made his career basically off of one hit. and when he was in college at South Carolina.
Right.
Said there's no bad blood with the Browns. But Jadeveon Clowney is, when you talk about Thibodeau, this guy has been basically a bust. He had one good season. And other than that, he hasn't showed up. Rick ain't having it. Rick ain't having it.
I'm just saying.
We both picked the Vikings.
I'm looking for the Vikings to win their first game, Rick. You ought to be happy about that. Jack can't handle me. Only in boxing. He can handle me only in boxing.
Oh, shoot. And I got to deal with Keith Ingle on Sunday, too, because he's a huge Patriots fan. But the Patriots, they haven't scored that many points this year.
No,
so that might play into the Cowboys' hand. But Jadeveon Clowney, he hasn't been what they thought he'd be.
Yeah. He been a bust.
I don't think the Browns are too worried about him. I don't think the Browns.
Well, and plus he'll take a step out of the game. I think too. He ain't gonna show up.
If I pick the Ravens, I think I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah,
the Browns are. So I think I picked the Ravens. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Yeah, Myles Garrett got the game ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it
that. The game against Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna call it that this week. I'm gonna see if I can get him on the show and talk about Myles.
And his dad heard me saying that, and he came. Hey, Jeff Coach said that you had no tackles and no sacks against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and evidently he must have told him. He told him, Jim.
Yeah, he showed up. So, and congratulations, Myles. I always like you. The Rams hope that Cooper Kupp is healthy to play against the Eagles.
And well, I hope so. That'll be a good game. That might. I'm looking for the Eagles to lose their first game pretty soon. The next 2 to 3 weeks.
You think so?
That's what I'm looking.
They're pretty healthy in their fronts, though. Their offensive line has been healthy. Although Lance Jackson does get away with starting early. I saw it with my own eyes. There he goes. He came out of nowhere. Keith heard me.
Hey,
Keith, I'll be in the stadium.
Hey, y'all get that ball to Zeke this weekend. You might win your game.
Keith, I'm gonna be in my seats. I'm on the 50-yard line. I'm gonna be talking.
I'm looking for the Pats to win 2 games in a row.
Keith, it ain't happening this week. Sorry, buddy. I have a lot of respect for you.
I might try to call Belichick. I might come to call Belichick, see he let me stand on the sideline.
Keith, how many points have the Patriots scored in one game? They haven't scored a lot of points this year. So
they haven't scored that much.
And then we already talked about Keith's favorite player, Matt Jones, hitting Sauce Gardner, trying to take his kids away from him and stuff. But
interesting.
But and then hot seat. There are some coaches already on the hot seat. Can you imagine? I tell you what, people, if Mike McCarthy loses this game, he's gonna be in the hot seat.
Well, he ought to be in the hot seat losing to the Cardinals. Shoot.
Yeah, and that's why. I think he's got there's a little bit of issues. And I didn't think, I noticed that. Great defense, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure you said that, not me, Keith. But obviously Matt Eberflus of Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah.
He's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I think they paid McDaniels too much money, but he would be on the hot seat.
He definitely on the hot seat. The Raiders. Whew.
Kevin Stefanski came off of back-to-back losing seasons with Cleveland. He got a win. But I think the people, as quiet as it kept, I really believe that McCartney and Dad are both on the hot seat. But hey, we'll talk about a little bit more. We're almost done. We got to waddle out of here. Watch the Bills beat Miami.
Man, I can't believe that y'all let Miami score 70 points last week, Denver. What's wrong with y'all?
All right.
But you will have to wait behind Jack.
Hey, you guys have a good evening. It's our time. We got to get out of here.
We see you, Rick, up there at